Maxton Hall Season 2 is going so well that I honestly cannot even explain it. They really make us feel both the drama and the romance to the fullest. I am genuinely grateful that in episode 4, I finally got to see Ruby and James so happy together. But unfortunately, it looks like this sweet couple will face big challenges in episode 5. I know you are wondering whether Mortimer will force Ruby and James to break up. So come on, let's take a look at what happened in episode 4 and what might happen in episode 5. They are a couple now. Yes, I genuinely want to scream with happiness because Ruby and James finally announced to everyone that they are a couple now. At the beginning of the episode, I was honestly so scared after James's conversation with Ruby. When he said he had to marry Elaine just like Ruby, I felt ice cold water pour down my back. But luckily, Ruby convinced him not to be afraid, and they promised that they would never give up on each other. Ruby and James are truly real loves. They were made for each other. Also, James meeting Ruby's family and actually having a genuinely happy time warmed my heart. They are truly perfect. After this beautiful beginning and after surviving the tension-filled party of Elaine, they had one of the most beautiful dates I have ever seen, but it looks like this amazing date will not end with a happy ending. I will talk about what might happen in episode 5 in a moment, but before that, we need to talk about Elaine's nightmare like party and Lydia. Elaine's horrible party. I cannot pass without saying how weird Elaine is. The girl literally smelled James's Tay shirt, and that is not even the weirdest thing she did. When she put something in Ruby's drink to make her throw up. Did she think James would suddenly lose interest in Ruby? I have to say that Elaine's plans are incredibly childish. And as if that were not enough, we also learn that she has a brother. A brother who is just as much of a villain as she is. Her brother Frederick suddenly barging into the party and breaking up. Alistair and his boyfriend, with the things he said was honestly disgusting, but the things Frederick did might actually help everyone in some way because Kesh also stood up for Alistair against Frederick, and this move might help this sweet couple get back together. Also, do not forget that he pushed James into admitting he is Ruby's boyfriend. So, in short, this horrible party did everything it could to bring the couples we love closer to each other, and I am very happy about that. Poor Lydia. The only word I could actually use for Lydia is poor. I honestly do not understand why Mortimer hates her this much. The man is truly a villain. And the fact that just because she is afraid of Mortimer's reaction, Lydia had to cut Graham out of her life. And later she will have to say that her twins, who Mortimer will eventually find out about, are from a one-night stand, really breaks my heart. Yes, Lydia and Graham's relationship was never one I approved of. But the fact that Lydia does not even get to have a choice in these things upsets me so much. On the other side of the coin, unfortunately, there is Cyril. He has been making his interest in Lydia very clear lately. But it looks like Lydia will not give him any attention. If Cyril gets pushed away like this, I am afraid he might want to take revenge on either Lydia or James. I hope Cyril understands he is unwanted and quietly leaves their lives. Episode 5. Yes, now it is time to talk about what will happen in the much-awaited Episode 5. As you know, at the end of Episode 4, we saw that Mortimer's flight was canceled because of the weather conditions and that he returned home. And unfortunately, what he will see when he gets home is that Ruby and James are back together. And at this point, I think Ruby and James will need to make an important decision. And in my heart, I believe James should take Ruby with him, cut ties with his father completely, and leave the house. If he truly loves Ruby, he should stand up to a father who wants to force him to marry someone he does not love, and he should leave that house for the love of his life. But of course, this decision will have consequences. We know that Alice Campbell and Mortimer Beaufort are very close, and Mortimer might push Alice into distancing herself from Ruby just to hurt Ruby. Right when Ruby is supposed to get a scholarship from Alice and start working part-time with her. And of course, he might cut off all the money he gives James. That is why I think our couple, even though it is sad, will not want to stand against Mortimer yet. At least not until they both get to Oxford, because once they go to Oxford, they will be as far away from Mortimer as possible. So our couple needs to endure things a bit longer. I think Lydia's situation will be much harder. With the frustration of not being able to control James, Mortimer will probably take it out on Lydia. And in these arguments, I am afraid Lydia might accidentally reveal she is pregnant, or Mortimer might find out on his own. Since for Mortimer, cutting Lydia off is much easier than cutting James off, I hope nothing bad happens between them in the next episode. Finally, although I do not think it is very likely, something is still bothering my mind. Could Ruby, after getting accepted to Oxford and finding the chance to work with Alice and receive a scholarship, be forced to break up with James just to stay away from Mortimer? Could Mortimer force Ruby to choose between James and her dreams? What do you think about this? Let's meet in the comments. Meanwhile, if you want to watch season 19 of Heartland but do not know where to watch it for free, check out this video.